People versus John Doe, docket number A15-1962. Charges are murder in the second-degree multiple counts, assault with intent, assault on a police officer, multiple counts, and obstruction of justice, multiple counts.
Matt Murdoch for the defendant, Your Honor.
Chris Dingus for the people.
Mr. Murdoch, your client is charged with numerous felonies. Are you prepared to enter a plea at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, you're on.
Not guilty.
Question of bail. Do I even have to ask?
No, Your Honor, I think it goes without saying that the defendant poses a substantial flight risk.
Actually, I can't fly.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Not helping.
Yeah.
Your Honor, my firm is prepared to post a $2 million bond to secure defendant's presence at trial.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
As long as he's wearing that mask, we don't even know who you'd be posting a bond for.
My representation as both the bondsman and an officer of the court should be sufficient. In any case, the defendant is allegedly responsible for the arrest of hundreds of criminals, both superpowered and otherwise, but to incarcerate him with said criminals pending trial is tantamount to a death sentence.
We seem to manage.
Mr. Dingus is referring to the urban legend that I'm secretly Daredevil, despite the fact that I'm, what's the phrase? Completely blind.
Your Honor.
Who are you?
Matthew Dowd, Your Honor. I'd like to file my appearance in connection with CV 4587.
That's a civil case number.
Because it's a civil case. Ryan Maxwell vs. Spider-Man aka John Doe.
So have I.
I've had better days. And that's really saying something with your history. You usually have it even worse than me.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
Our litigation has been predictably stymied by the fact we've been unable to ascertain the defendant's true identity. Accordingly, I filed a motion under Rule 3124 this morning, requesting a court order to unmask the defendant.
Can they do that?
Frisk you when you go in and out of the courtroom. Yes. They don't want me passing you weapons.
I meant the unmasking thing.
No. They can't do that without probable cause and the appropriate authority. The SHA prohibits the state police from unmasking arrested heroes.
Because the feds want to have all the fun.
Exactly. But if the judge thinks this lawsuit is sufficient justification...
Wait a minute. You mean the judge can unmask me just because I've been sued?
What a world, huh?
You've got to do something. I faced down Dr. Octopus, Dr. Doom. I fought Venom and Super, Skrulls. I even beat a Sentinel once. I can't get taken out by a lawyer.
Fortunately for you, this is an issue I've spent not a little amount of time thinking about.
I bet.
This is ridiculous. There's no constitutional right to dress in spandex and wear a mask.
Your Honor, can I be heard on this?
There's a constitutional right to privacy, embodied in the 14th Amendment. Griswold vs. Connecticut.
Why not Mr. Dingus? It's not like this can become any more of a circus.
We're passing the Superhuman Registration Act, which requires superheroes to disclose their identities to law enforcement. Congress has already come down in favor of unmasking superheroes.
Did Congress switch over to the judiciary branch? Sometimes the Braille newspapers miss things.
Snark aside, no superhuman's right to privacy extends to their identity.
And the law of the land is being challenged. United States versus Steve Rogers. Alleging wrongful death caused by the SHRA, and in connection with said action, we filed an appeal to the Supreme Court, challenging the constitutionality of the Registration Act.
Under Griswold, I'd imagine.
And the 14th Amendment? I'm nothing if not consistent, Judge.
Clever lawyering notwithstanding, the privacy issue isn't relevant to my civil case. If the defendant hit my client with his car, I'd have every right to run the license plate to see who owns it. Same thing here.
He's right, Your Honor.
He is?
He is.
Oh, he is. Right insofar as I agree with his analogy. Request a 24-hour recess.
What for?
Opportunity to present evidence of my client's car.
Actually, let me rephrase that. You've got 60 seconds to explain this. This stunt before I have you held in contempt.
It's no stunt, Your Honor. Mr. Dowd compared his lawsuit to a hit and run, and I agree. I'm just demonstrating that there are a wide variety of people who could have driven the car. And just like in Mr. Dowd's hit and run analogy, I order to meet his burden of proof. He has to prove who wore the costume on the day in question. But unmasking my client today would have no evidentiary relevance.
Your Honor, you can't be buying this.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I can. Here, let me prove it. Plaintiff's motion to compel denied.
Your Honor, there being no evidence against my client at present, I'd move for summary judgment in his favor on the civil action.
Granted.
Judge,
Kind dismissing, but without prejudice. If Mr. Dowd and his client can prove who was wearing the spandex when, they can refile. But you're not going 3-4. 3 today, Mr. Murdoch, because I'm denying your request for bail. The defendant is to be held without bail pending his criminal trial.
You could have won that one.
Everybody's a critic.
No, I'm grateful. Really. Only one thing.
Where'd I find all the Spider-Men?
I'm almost afraid to ask. I've had problems with clones. But then, don't we all? Some of those guys were doing some stuff that regular people in a costume couldn't.
That's what sold it, actually. Not a lot of people can shoot webs and cling to walls.
Oh god, it is clones, isn't it?
No. Actually, remember how you wore my costume to help me get out of the lawsuit against Daredevil? Well, I found some friends who were willing to return the favor.
Where'd Iron Fist get the web shooter? They confiscated mine at Central Booking.
Apparently, someone broke into the evidence locker last night. Tragic.
Tell me you didn't break into an NDI PD evidence locker.
I didn't. Didn't think I would. The web shooter just showed up. I don't ask any questions. On an unrelated point, the Black Cat sends her regards.
Thanks for all this.
Wait until you get my bill, which includes all the costumes, by the way. Wear them in good health. And don't forget to read that book.